Yes. Raila promises to move Africa to multilateralism rather than bilateralism. Most of the agreements we sign are bilateral, and we don't get the economy of bargaining as a continent. And remember, cross the river together and the crocodile will not catch any of you. So there is the multilateralism vision that is very clear about that MP Opondo was talking about. I also think the place of Kenya as an anchor state and as a stabilizing effect. If you look at even what the US have done with Kenya, it's more strategic. You know, Kenya almost has a one UN stop, almost like New York. The digital diplomacy in Kenya, the human resource in Kenya. So the place of Kenya among nations is very high. The idea, even Trump, right now, they are not happy with South Africa because of the BRICS. And that makes Kenya the most favorite for them, because they are very afraid of the China influence peddled through South Africa, who are members of the BRICS. And therefore, you can see even the enhanced relationship with, between Kenya and the US. And therefore, I think the US will be in favor of Kenya. Now,
but how then? Because if you look at the second statement of, the second paragraph of the statement issued by Donald Trump on the sanctions on the Rainbow Nation was basically speaking about what he termed as targeting the white minority. Yet Donald Trump's government, the American government, provided weapons to Israel, for example, in destroying Gaza, and more weapons and bombs were dropped on Gaza than World War II combined. Yes. If you look at what happened in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and also in Germany. Then how do you trust, for example, an administration where the head of state in America is so hawkish, dangerous, nativist, extreme with his executive orders and what we had seen coming out of the White House since he had assumed office on the 20th of January?
You might be right, but under realist theory, the powerful get their way, the weak suffer what they must. And therefore, there is what we call the America...
The superpower will have its way.
Yeah, there's what... America is the superpower, not China. How many people are listening to China music? How many people are eating China food? We talk of KFC and all that and all that. That was your presentation. So there is the hegemony part. And therefore, there is what we call America exceptionalism.
Yes.
We know that it's a double standard, it's unfair, but it's the reality that some nations are powerful. But the innovation of Raila candidature is this. He's presented as the Eastern Africa candidate, not even Kenya. Because remember, at the initial stage of the launch, most of the East African presidents were there. Yeah. And that is the different...
Kagame wasn't there.
Right, but...
Somalia's Mahmoud wasn't there.
But with apology...
Sent representative.
And a number of them were there.
Was there for Kagame.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Prime Minister of Somalia was there.
But look at that innovation, learning from Amina's challenges, that you can only go far if you present this candidate, not even as Kenya, but even move and present them as an East Africa candidate. And then it favors that the president chairs the AU reform and chairs the East African community at this point. Now, if you look at what Djibouti can do, Djibouti is multi-aligned. Djibouti has bases for almost every superpower. And therefore, it's trusted by none. Literally, because it has not just one base.
It's not discrete.
No, it is prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, as we sing in our SDA church. And therefore, Djibouti, everyone knows, is up for everyone. And it has no masses to be in it. It literally has more than one base. In the Red Sea, it is the access for everyone. It is not as a force that someone can say, I have this one on my corner. And therefore, that leaves the Kenya shining diplomacy, including the peace diplomacy, on high demand in the continent. In fact, in terms of diplomacy, geopolitics and geostrategy, you can rate us at top 2%. Beyond that, and therefore that's why I'm confident the US, knowing that China is trying to sneak through South Africa, will die with Kenya. And then finally...
But China exports more goods into the continent than America does.
It does, but you see, Kenya also have never severed link with China, you know, and that is the multi-aligned, the prong that we look at what we get from that country. We don't worship these alliances in a vacuum, so that if we get good medicine from India, on this one we work with India. You have seen this government trying to do things with Dubai, with Egypt, and therefore with even Israel to some extent. So to that extent, let me tell you the most sad experience that I had as I wrap up. When Obama stood for presidency, none other than Kenya President and Foreign Affairs Minister supported McCain.
2008.
So there is a place for patriotism. There is a place that if we are dining at national and international table, let us stop our sectorialism and our village politics. Because what was so embarrassing, President Kibaki's father worked with Obama, senior, as economist. And then you come out and support, so to speak, a Caucasian from Kaukol Mountain, and you leave a son of your colleague. But guess what? Obama drove through. Now this time, history repeats itself.
And the assurance is...
This is the TB moment, my brother.
The assurance is now Odinga has the president's support. And it was unfortunate that the Kibaki government is supporting.
Isn't it interesting, by the way, that the idea of leaving no one behind, and you see some of even the anger I see is veiled under the idea of whether it's qualification, whether it's whatever. It is because there is an element of let us bring those who have been to the margin to the center, whether it's in terms of giving them ID, whether it's in terms of equal distribution of resources, development, and that comes out as anger sealed in terms, because look at the Djibouti candidate and Raila. One have been in jail for 8 years fighting for human rights. One has scars to show for it. One have been prime minister. The guy have been paltry foreign affairs. But you are taking all this.
It's not a contest in Homa Bay.
No.
We're talking about the...
You know all about that.
It's
time to make his submissions. You have your time. So.